Welcome to the Report. Appreciate you guys for taking this time to hear me out. Or today, well, first of all, be sure to like the video. Please like the video. That really helps me out a lot. I do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified when videos like these come up and when they are released. So today, we will be doing a 3-part series of the semifinal predictions of the NBA. The Nuggets Suns game 1 already happened. You can see a previous video even before this series happened of me saying how I no longer believe in the Suns and how I now take the Nuggets serious. I now believe in the Nuggets pretty much. So we're going to combine the Suns-Nuggets series prediction with the Heat-Knicks because the Suns-Nugget game already happened at the time of recording this, and the Heat-Knicks game kicks off in about an hour at the time of you guys watching this video, game 1 of that second round series. So be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos. So we still gonna give our semifinal predictions, even though it's not complete yet. Not completely complete, and even though that there are 2 teams, what is named Suns and Nuggets, are already playing, but you guys already heard what I said about that series anyway, and that's what we're gonna start. But I did mention that series in a previous video before both teams advanced because, I mean, we just knew that the Clippers weren't healthy enough, and we knew that if they were, a series, it would have been a lot different. It would have been 100% different. But that's just my opinion. That is a what if. But injuries, like I always say, part of the game. So what can you do besides play with the guys you got? And also, Denver beat Minnesota down. Minnesota did steal take one game to avoid being swept. So both those teams won in what we'll call gentleman sweeps, meaning they won 4-1. Nuggets and Suns, and they played earlier a couple hours ago, and the Nuggets blew them out. Like I said in a previous video. I just think Phoenix, and I'm not prisoner of the moment. Like I said this already, so I'm not prisoner of the moment in game 1. I just think Phoenix is just very, very top heavy. I think they're top heavy, and I underestimated Denver before, but I do think I see Denver now. I'm watching them play, and they are just a complete team, and you saw that tonight in the game. At the time of recording this video, we saw that they just put on a display in that second quarter. They went up by double digits, and they never looked back. The Suns, the Nuggets never looked back. The Suns was trying to make a run, but every time they did, I mean, Jamal Murray looking like Bubble Murray out there. We forget that this is his first time in the playoffs since the bubble. He's been out the last 2 years. Good to have Jamal Murray back because he is a player, he is a baller, and you see how important he is to the Denver Nuggets. The first year of him being out, the Nuggets got swept by the Suns in the second round of the playoffs. That was the year the Suns made it to the finals, the year after the bubble. And then last year, the Nuggets were gentlemen swept by the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. So now they're in the second round. The last time they had Jamal Murray, they made it to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble against the Lakers. And again, all Denver has to do, of course they play like this every game, they'll win, but all they have to do is have the others, as Shaq liked to say, show up. When the others show up and you get good games from Jokic and Murray, Jokic is going to play better than what he played offensively in the next game. And they're going to try to isolate Jamal Murray, keep the ball out of his hands and rough him up because he was lighting it up. And how many threes did Jamal Murray make tonight? Because it seems like every time I saw this dude shooting the ball, he was jacking up a 3 and hitting the 3. It probably wasn't even that much. It just felt like it. He made 6 out of 10. That's a lot. That's a lot of threes. And then you had Aaron Gordon, who hit 3 threes out of 4. KCP hit 3. Jokic hit a nice rainbow 3. Michael Porter, everybody in the starting lineup was in threes, and they made 16 out of 37 threes. Phoenix 7 out of 23. Phoenix don't shoot a lot of threes. But again, I just think the Suns are just a top heavy team, and I don't know if they can compete. I don't know if they can beat the Denver Nuggets. So I'm gonna take Denver to win this series, and I don't even think it goes the distance. I think it goes to 6 games. I'm going to take Denver in 6 again. They just have to have guys like KCP and Aaron Gordon, who was just turning. Michael Porter Jr. is officially my favorite player. He did not. I don't know if he really went off like that. But he defensively, this guy is just it. Like his size, his build. Michael Porter, he had 11 points, 5 or 9 shooting, but this dude is a really good defensive player. He had 2 steals tonight, and I just think Denver's the better team, and I think the Nuggets are going to win this series, and Phoenix is going to have to address that bench in the offseason. So I'm taking Denver in 6. Next series. This game kicks off at the time of release later today over here on the West Coast at 10 a.m. Sunday. Heat versus Knicks. The last time the Knicks were in the second round was 2013, where they lost to the Indiana Pacers. Miami Heat, how they got here, lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the first play-in game in the 7 versus 8, and they end up losing their 7th seed, where they would have played Boston had they won, and they end up beating the Bulls in the other play-in game. I think the Bulls were the 10th seed, so it was a 10 versus 8, and Miami got the 8th seed, and they end up shocking the Bucks. They end up beating the team with the best overall record in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks. They beat the Bucks, and now they are here in the second round where they're playing the Knicks, and what I think is an even second round matchup. Not sure about the status of Julius Randle. I'm sure he'll play, but I know he'll be hurt, and he doesn't have Tyler Hero. Both of these teams, neither of these teams, you might see a blowout game in this series, but neither of these teams are really going to pull away from each other. I think this one is going to go the distance. It's going to go 7 games. And I think I'm going to take the Miami Heat, man. Jimmy Butler showing that bubble was no fluke. Again, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. He's shown that bubble run was no fluke. But I'm going to take the Heat to win this in 7. This will go the distance. You will see blood in this series. Hopefully it's not anything drastic or anything. Just some brutal basketball is going to be played, because both these teams, especially the Knicks, man, itching to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. It'll be the first time since the lockout season in 1999 that they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that year they ended up making it to the NBA Finals where they lost to the Spurs. So the fans going to show up and show out in the Garden for this one. They got the first 2 in the Garden. They got so I'm gonna take them to split in the Garden, and they'll split in Miami, and then they'll alternate wins, and then the Heat will win Game 7 back in New York. I just think Jimmy Butler is on a different level. He won that first round against Giannis, and now they feel like they are unstoppable, especially, and they don't have Tyler Hero. Not to mention how close they were last year against Boston. They were Jimmy Butler shot away last year against the Celtics in the conference finals, where they would have played Golden State and most likely lost to Golden State in the NBA Finals, but that's another story for another time. Really not. Anyway, so I'm taking the Heat to win this one in 7 over the Knicks. Knicks had a great run, but I do think they're going to fall short at the end. Appreciate you guys for taking this time to hear me out. Be sure to tune back into the Reed Report after the Kings-Warriors Game 7 ends, so you can hear my prediction on who I believe, part 2 of this series, on who I believe will win the next round between the Lakers versus Kings or Lakers versus Warriors. Again, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and you will be notified when that video premieres at the conclusion of the Kings versus Warriors Game 7.